talking too much about MachineFi, let me back up a little bit, saying like why we want to do MachineFi at the first place. So according to like McKinsey, machine has a future workforce thanks to the advance in robotics, AI, and 5G. So there will be 100 billion machines in 2030, transforming our living experience fundamentally. And those machines are generating like a $12 trillion value, for the human being, for the economic growth. And 30% of the human jobs will be replaced by machine. Given the number of the machines and given the level of intelligence there will be at the degree of collaboration between the machines, there's definitely like the machine-only economy that gets emerging, meaning like a machines exchange something with other machines all the time, in real time, and they're collaborating with each other and do the things like the human being wants them to do. So that's why we call it the term MachineFi. So which is like a new paradigm fueled by the Web3, and machine resources and intelligence can be financialized to deliver value and ownership to the people, not to the centralized corporations for sure. So think about like a world with MachineFi, right? I think at very high level, I think there are two ways to see how the MachineFi will impact the world. So for one, is basically MachineFi will drive the machines to mirror the real world into the metaverse to enhance like a DeFi, GameFi, NFT with real world experiences. So think about if you play like a blockchain game at home, but you still can feel like you're sitting in a forest or maybe walking around the river. That's kind of like a real world experience this MachineFi can bring to the metaverse. Another one which makes me like a very, very exciting is the MachineFi will allow the metaverse to program the real world. So think about you can have like an unmanned store which is driven by a DAO, right? DAO is like a set of smart contract programmed by people, by developers. So you can program the DAO and DAO will instruct how the machine should work, in an unmanned store, or maybe in our like a smart fleet of cars, right? So basically, by having this, we like for the first time in the human history, so we have the ability to actually incentivize machines and peoples to do certain things, right? So for people, it's like a kind of walk tour, live tour, or maybe for machines, we can even have a crypto city, like Vitalik was talking about a lot of these days. At a very concrete level, I think there will be two like a new paradise that gets emerging because thanks to the MachineFi. So one is community-owned machine networks. So think about our wireless connectivity infrastructure right now. So it's kind of by the corporations, but this one can be actually owned by the community. So does compute, storage, mobility, bike, scooter, Uber, Tesla, so on and so forth. So that is what I mean by community-owned machine networks. For the individual human beings, right? So definitely using like a smart devices, no matter it's like a Fitbit or some other like things attached to our body, can turn this individual data or intelligence into something valuable. Basically brings in like a very fun living experience for the human being as well. So long story short, MachineFi will change the world very dramatically. But the current engine that powers the machine cannot power the upcoming massive economy machines for sure. And the status quo only leads to a monopolized ownership of the future workforce. And the new engine that can drive this new economy, so definitely like should have three pillars in my opinion. So first is composability. Like we talk about lots of composability in the Web3 context. I think this still applies to the MachineFi economy, which means developer A can build something, developer B can build something, and developer C can actually very easily putting these things together to have a new product, a new protocol. This is so-called composability, which allows builders to innovate collaboratively, globally, um, at a pace like we've never seen. So this is the importance of composability. Second one is free market. So as we can see in the Web3 context, so there are lots of very radical economic designs about the tokens, about the protocol, about how the token should be used to incentivize certain behavior. So this is still true in the MachineFi economy. So we need like a free market for those tokens that drives the machine to work. Basically, like have a can just flow around very freely. So this gives lots of design space for people who's interested in token economic designs. The third one is user as owners. So in the centralized world, so if you think about like big company like Google, Facebook, or Uber, or Amazon, or Apple, right? So they all like hit this S curve, meaning when they grow, and at a certain point, like the growth will slow down. That's where they start to kind of squeeze their user, trying to get more values from their user. That means user are not owners of those companies, so they're competing. But in the Web3 or MachineFi context, so this is different. That users are actually the owners of the machine network. So this aligns the incentives to actually making the growth more sustainable. Yeah, so those are like the three pillars actually we need for the MachineFi world. So IoTeX is definitely like the fastest growing decentralized network to jumpstart the Web3 MachineFi economy and power billions of machines at scale for the people, for sure. And we gave machines like a trust and a composability. And the network actually incentivize machine with some sort of token economics and also scale up the community-owned machine networks. So that's always been our vision. That's starting from 2017, and we have been here for 4 years, keep building. So yeah, so this is about like the marketplace. So basically, we're envisioning that we are about plan to launch next year, by having IoTeX as a common tech stack sitting in the middle. So we will be able to convert like a wearables, no matter it's like a AirPods or maybe a watch or something else, to for example to be like a Web3 protocol or has a token called Wear. So people, for example, people can have like this token or maybe this device, so they will be incentivized by the token, like work to earn, live to earn, or maybe turn some personal achievements into NFT, or maybe even incentivize people, to go to somewhere, to jogging every day, to have like a happier life, and eventually grow the community using this token as well. The same like principles applies to the other categories of the devices. If you think about Raspberry Pi as a machine Turk, autonomous car as like the machine Turk, it's the same, right? You just use the token of DAO to actually drive how this machine works and how the profit actually splits among its owners. 3D printers, of course, can be used for decentralized smart manufacture. So does solar panels, scooters, smart homes, satellites, drones, and so on. So I can never stop here. But I'm so excited from the bottom of my heart, like the MachineFi will become something very tangible by end of the next year. So once this marketplace gets up there, I think we will have a huge growth in terms of like a massive adoption of MachineFi.
Hi, I'm glad I caught you on my run. I'm logging enough miles that my insurance company will cut me a sweet break on my premium payments. They reward me for proof of the physical activities that promote wellness and help me avoid diseases from lifestyle choices. My smart tracker, Pebble, lets me do this without compromising my privacy. I control the data of my activities and share only what they need to make my payments more affordable. The IoTeX blockchain is what keeps my business, and that's a good thing. In the world of acute care, I'm happy and relieved that urgently needed medical supplies are being tracked by IoTeX. By securely tracking fragile medicines, they save lives and reduce costs. IoT and blockchain are a pretty powerful combo that can do good and put money in my pocket. Oh, Pebble calls, gotta go.